Well, when we stopped being nomads and we settled down in agrarian communities, we could start to have assets. We could have a house. We could have our land. Because these are things that we couldn't carry with us before.
Mm.
And Walter Wink, in his book, The Powers That Be, says that when we held these assets, we then started to want to protect them.
Mm.
We became political. Yeah?
Yeah.
And in that environment, we started to develop a specialised kind of language. A language that judged, blamed and criticised. A language that tried to find what was wrong with the others. Yeah? Or what was wrong with us.
Yeah.
Through fear, obligation, guilt and shame. So we've been conditioned to use that kind of language. And that's why we're not feeling compassion for the other people. Yeah?
Mm. So that's what's stopping us, and that's so. So do we learn how to move beyond that?
Of course.
Yeah.
So this language
Yeah.
that all it sees is what's wrong with others. So when we go, I hate that person's stupid, what an idiot, you know, cut road rage, what an idiot, fancy doing that.
Mm.
Yeah? That language is dehumanising the other person.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that's stopping us from connecting at a compassionate level, because we dehumanise people.
Mm.
So we develop some awareness using a very simple Buddhist practice about developing compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sounds very interesting. Yeah.
And then the other part of the program is developing self-expression. So we need to change this language from one that judges, blames, criticises, to one that is enabling a connection between us, a flow between me and the person I'm talking to.
Mm.
A language that the other person actually is going to be willing to listen to.
Yeah.
Because if I call you a dickhead,
Yeah.
you're already not going to like that, eh?
No.
Or if I'm starting to say, how can you be so stupid? Yeah?
Yeah.
I know that when people say that to me, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you know? So we teach a language, and I'll give a brief example now. This is just a little part of the process. The first part of the process is to give observations and not judgments. So say if some guy, David, for example, walks in now at 2:30, and I'd agreed to meet David at 1:30, and I said to him, oh, David, you're always late. Do you reckon that's a judgment or an observation?
That sounds like a judgment to me.
Yeah, it's a judgment.
Yeah.
So what's David going to do? He's going to resist.
Mm.
So now we have our first blockage to our communication.
Mm.
And now we're going to have trouble. And we're going to have to try and recover stuff. Because David's going to go, hang on, I'm not always late. Because there's bound to be a time when he wasn't. If we go, hey David, when I see you come in at 2:30, and I recall yesterday we agreed to meet at 1:30, is that a judgment or an observation?
That sounds like an observation, a
It
fact.
is.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
So now David can't argue with that.
No.
Yeah? So now we've reached already, without any input from David, we have an agreement about how we can communicate about this.
Mm.
And that's the beginning of compassionate communication. Having awareness, managing our energy, our states, having compassion from the other person, and talking in a language that other people are going to be willing to listen to.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Must make a big difference in intimate relationships, and I mean, I can't think of anything where it wouldn't make a difference.
It's a great way to grow
Yeah.
more happiness in your life.
Yeah.
The quality of your relationships and the quality of your communication.
Mm.